The dancers move with strange, powerful alertness. The men are dressed only in loose-colored scarves. The subalo plays a double flute the Etruscans loved. And so they move on, their long sandaled feet, their limbs full of life to the tips. The sense of vigorous, strong-bodied liveliness and is characteristic of the Etruscans. And it's somehow beyond art. We cannot think of art, but only of life itself. As if this were the very life of the Etruscans, dancing in their colored wraps ruddy from the air, dancing and fluting along little olive trees. This is a man who's about to die himself. Anyway, he gives you, the man at the end is holding up between his thumb and foreground an egg. This is your Easter egg, showing it, but this is 5th century BC, showing it to the yellow-haired woman who reclines next to him. And in her left hand, this is page 40, I think, as if to touch her breast. He in the right hand holds a large wine dish for the revelry. The next couple, a fair-haired woman, are looking around and making a salute. It seems they too are saluting the mysterious egg held up by the man at the end, who is no doubt the man who has died. Anyway, he explains what this egg is. It's the egg of resurrection. There's a mystery and portentousness in the simple scenes which go deeper than commonplace life. And then the next page, how lovely these have been and still are, the band of dancers, the broad-bodied young men. They're dancing in open past trees. And here he concludes his point. Every part of the body and of the anima, the soul, the Greek shall know, Greek word for the soul is anima, because it moved the body like an animal. It shall know religion and be in touch with the gods. Towards this woman comes the young man piping, and strong legs dance, so full of life. He also talks about being smeared in red, as the Native Americans, the Red Indians, as he calls them, do. When they wish to figure in their sacred and portentous selves, they smear their bodies all over with red. American Indian told him once, this is medicine. Vermilion is the color of his sacred, important God body. Apparently it was all in the ancient world too. Man in scarlet was his bodily God self. Well, he knows this stuff, you see. Beyond, he just intuits it, and he seems to know. It says at one point there's more life in one moving leg that you see. Here it is, here on page 44. On the broken wall are dancing legs of a man, and there's more life in these Etruscan leg fragments as they are than in whole bodies of men today. I think probably things have improved since his time. Then he sees the dolphins, and they're mysterious too. I told you about them. They are diving into the sea, diving and leaping all downwards into the rippling sea. Again, the egg he speaks about, and I guess what he speaks about is these dolphins that dive, and later on the ducks and things. That they're going into the sea to come in touch with the ancient mysteries. 46, once it was all bright and dancing. Deep and sincere honor rendered the dead. For no part of us, as the old pagan writer says, and our bodies shall be, which does not feel religion. And so on. And this is evident in the Etruscan things. Again, on the next page, he speaks about the mysterious egg. Finally, a paragraph, I think it's 49. The natural flowering of life. It's not so easy for human beings as it sounds. Behind all the Etruscan liveliness was a religion of life, which the chief men were seriously responsible for. Behind all the dancing was a vision and even a science of life. So you're beginning to get this here. Every man, every creature, tree, lake, mountain, stream were animate, had its own peculiar consciousness, as it did today, as it does today. The old idea of the vitality of the universe was evolved long before history began, and so on. So you can read that yourself. It talks about the touch that people have then. Let me, he goes lastly here, what I'm 52, what I'm trying to tell you about. The sea is this vast, here's the diving into the sea of the divers, the ducks, the dolphins, creature that had a soul too, whose inwardness is the womb of all things. when you started this, you didn't know he was going to get this far when we were just an old truck clattering into the village. Out of which all things emerge, and in which they're devoured back. Balancing the sea is the earth of inner fire, of afterlife, and before life. Beyond the waters, the ultimate fire lay only that oneness of which the people knew nothing. But the sea the people knew, the dolphin leaps in and out of it, as a creature that suddenly exists out of nowhere. He's not, and no, there he is. The dolphin which gives up the sea's rainbows only when he dies. Out he leaps. Then with a head dive, back again he plunges into the sea. He is so much alive, he's like the phallus. Back to his phallic consciousness. Phallic consciousness, sex symbols, carrying the fiery spark of procreation down to the wet darkness of the womb. The diver does the same, carrying like a phallus his small hot spark into the depths of death, and the sea will give up her dead life like dolphins that leap out and have the rainbow within them. But the duck that swims on the water lifts his wings is another matter. The blue duck or goose so often represented by the Etruscans, he is the same goose, and so on and so forth. The duck does not live down within the waters as the fish. The fish is the anima, the life force, the animate life, the very clue to the vast sea, the watery element of the first submission. For this reason, Jesus was represented in first Christian centuries as a fish. So if you go around Orange County or wherever you are, see in the back of cars these fish symbols, he tells you what where it comes from, what it means. Where people still thought as Etruscans in Italy. Jesus was the anima, the moving life force of the vast, moist, ever-yielding element, which was the opposite and the counterpart of the red flame of the pharaohs. Well, I mean, he really, as you can see, has it all. 54, whatever is laid on his shoulder is a sign of power added. And then he goes into the augurs. Next time, I'll just do a little bit of that augur material and finish this up with you next time. I hope you find something useful in this book.